Hello and welcome to day 12 of the 12 days of yoga. This is our last practice of the series and we are in the sign of Leo today. So we moved from the moon being in Cancer to now being in Leo today and tomorrow. This is our last day of the series, so I went ahead and gave you everything, the meditation and the journaling prompt and the activity that would be for tomorrow, but this is our last day. So you can go ahead and find that whenever you're ready. We are in the sign of Leo, which is the sign of just a loving, very bold sign. And when I think of Leo, I think about that inner child energy. So that is where I'm coming from with all of these activities. So thinking on the theme of love, loving that inner child. Because that inner child and that loving energy can be a lot, and we just came out of a full moon and we're going into our waning phase, I wanted to make this practice a restorative practice, something that is slow, that we could slow down, kind of like a peaceful ending to this series, and just give you a little bit of space to really make room for your inner child and just some healing there. Leo is the sign of the heart, so that makes a lot of sense that Leo is about love, that big love, with it ruling over the heart. It's also associated with the third eye chakra, so that is where we're going to be focusing our practice today, is the heart, the spine, and the third eye chakra. Because this is a restorative practice, I am going to be using my blocks and I'm going to be using my bolster. If you do not have blocks or bolster, you can use anything block shaped that is sturdy and can hold weight. Think like thick books. And if you don't have a bolster, a yoga bolster, you can use pillows. Just grab a couple that you can have handy to help you in these postures. So go ahead, grab your things. Maybe do this in your pajamas, whatever you want. It doesn't have to be restricting. Nothing restrictive, just something very comfortable that you can really settle and release into. So grab your things and meet me on the mat. If you would like to listen to the playlist while you practice, you may go ahead and start that now. We are going to find a supported fish pose, but we're going to make it a little extra yummy by using our bolster, or you can use pillows if you do not have a bolster. So we're going to set up a more of an inclined kind of fish here. So we're going to set up a tower. We're going to have a block on the second highest and then the highest. And we're going to set our bolster so that it is leaning on these blocks. And then we're going to come so that the back is to the bolster, and we're going to slowly lower down onto our bolster or our pillows. If you don't have a bolster but you have blocks, you can always do a supported fish where you do this without the bolster. The bolster just allows for a little bit more comfort here in this pose. And arms come out to the sides. If it is too much of an intense sensation, you can always put pillows underneath the arms to bring the arms a little bit higher up. You could also maybe bring the hands to the belly or the heart, wherever you feel called. Today, we're just going to close the eyes and just drop into this shape. You could also bring reclined bound angle, legs where the soles of the feet come to meet, or just have the legs at a neutral space. You're just going to connect the breath. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears, allowing gravity to drag them down, shining that heart space forward. And maybe bring some awareness in between the eyebrows, right where the third eye chakra is located. This is the location of our intuition, to our knowing, and just connecting to that part of our body. slowly and intentionally, we're going to make our way over to one side of the body by bringing in an elbow and rolling onto that elbow to come back to a seated position. We're going to turn to the back of our mats where our tower is located, and we're going to find a supported child's pose. Now you can leave it just like this, or you might just need to play with it. You can lower it down by bringing the blocks down a size. The lower it is, the more intense the sensation. So if you need a little extra room to bring the earth a little bit closer to you for your supported child's pose, this is great. If you want a little bit more sensation, lower it all the way down to here. Or if you would like, just remove the blocks and you can use your bolster or your pillow for a child's pose. I'm going to pick this first one we had. It was feeling pretty good for me. And before you settle in, you're going to inhale, grow tall, and exhale. Just going to lower down onto the bolster, bringing one side of the head to the bolster. I'll let you know about halfway so that you can turn the head to bring a little bit of balance into the body. And just allow your chest to melt into the bolster. And find a place of release here. We're about halfway, so if you'd like to turn your head to the opposite side, you can do so now. Going to begin to come back up slowly. Just take a moment here. We're going to take our tower down and set our blocks to the side. So we're going to take our bolster to the top of the mat, and we're going to find a supported puppy pose. So sit bones are going to stay high in the air. We're going to bring the bolster underneath the armpits. Arms come to the top of the mat. You might need to wiggle into this shape. And you're just going to allow the chest to melt towards the bolster. Just allow yourself to melt here. It's giving a little bit more sensation, but still supported. Slowly coming out of this pose. Come to a tabletop. Maybe take a little cat-cow here. Stretch out that spine. And we're going to make our way to a seated position. And you might want to grab some extra pillows, even if you have a bolster. And we're going to set up for a forward fold, but we're going to make it supported as well. So I like to roll up a blanket or a towel and put it underneath the knees because I have some low back pain, and bending those knees in forward folds does a lot for that low back. So if you have some low back pain, maybe go ahead and do that. So you place that blanket underneath the knees. I'm going to place my blocks here on my legs, and then I'm going to place my bolster on top of my blocks. And we're just kind of making a shelf, a little pillow shelf to fold into for a forward fold. So we're going to inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head, and we're going to exhale and fold into our little tower here. You could grab another little pillow or blanket and put it here for your head so that you can rest your head, because we are going to hold this pose for a long while. So go ahead and get comfortable in this forward fold. Just slowly come back out. Just take a moment. We're going to set our blocks and our bolster to the side. We give the legs a little shake. We're going to bring our bolster to about the top half of the mat. Then we're going to set up for a pigeon. I'm going to bring a block to the top of the mat as well. And with our pigeon, we're going to bring one shin to the top of the mat on the other side of the bolster so that the hips are resting on the bolster. And we're going to take a block to the top of the mat for the head. And just take your time getting here. We're going to be here for a while, so make sure that you're comfortable. If you need to find 2 blocks here, that is completely fine. If you need to find a pillow up here, maybe a stack of pillows, just finding a place that you can really release in this shape. And to slowly come out of our pigeon. And we're going to go ahead and make our way into the other side. So if you had the right side, the right leg, right shin up, we're going to bring the left shin up. Oh, let me go to tabletop first. Setup, you might feel some differences between the left and right side. Typically, one hip is going to be tighter than the other. And just go ahead and sink into this pigeon, finding a place to release. Slowly coming back out of your pigeon. You're going to keep the bolster to the top of the mat. And we're going to set up for a Shavasana. So in the Shavasana, we're going to make a little table. So I'm going to keep my blocks on the lowest level. But you could also put them on the second highest level. I have a hard time keeping my blocks to stay here. I'm going to try it this time. But we're going to come to the back and we're going to lay the calves on the bolster. You can scoot the sit bones a little bit closer so that the bolster is underneath the knees. And this gives a lot of room for the low back. And we're just going to rest here. We're going to release. We're going to allow for the medicine to absorb into the body. Hands can come out to the sides. Hands can come to the belly. Wherever you need to be to really release in this shape is where you're going to take. The next time you hear my voice, it will be to guide you out of Shavasana. Begin to bring some awareness back into the body. Maybe wiggling the toes and the fingers, bringing a smile to the face. Gently move your bolster and blocks to the side, or simply scoot yourself away from the blocks and bolsters. Maybe take a full body stretch or a full body scrunch. And make your way to the left or right side of the body. And just take a moment here before making your way to a seated position. And make your way to a seated position, finding prayer at heart center. And just taking a moment in gratitude to thank yourself for giving yourself this time to move your body, to connect body, mind, and spirit. To connect to that inner child and show them love. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you.